thing I really like about this book is Chimamanda's wordplay, the way she was playing with vocabularies. Me, I've written GRE 2 times. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Margaret Oduwole and I'm a product manager and a YouTuber based in Lagos, Nigeria. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Please don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment on my video. Guys, you know, I've actually been telling myself that I need to change this my intro. Like, it's too cliche, this is what everybody says. I've been thinking about it, like, how can I, add some spice to this? How can I make it different? How can I add like a twist to it? But I'm still thinking. So for now, I think the cliche, hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, I think that one still works. Anyways, let's get right into today's agenda. Right, so of course, if you are a returning subscriber, you know that I'm a lover of books, right? I love reading books. I've done a couple of videos about how I started reading. I never actually used to be somebody who loved reading books anyway, but it's a habit that I've picked up now and I thoroughly enjoy it. I totally enjoy it, right? So today I'm going to be reviewing no other book than Dream Counts by Chimamanda. Guys, this book, it's one of a kind. Guys, this book, it kept me at the edge of my seat. Like, look at how big it is. I think I probably finished this book in like 3 or 4 days. Like, I could not just drop it. Chimamanda for a reason. CNA for a reason. Guys, this book is amazing, right? Well, if you've not read it, sorry, I hope my review would, spur you to go and read it. I hope, it will make you want to read it. I hope this review will make you want to read it, and I hope it's not going to be like a spoiler. You're like, oh, okay, since Margaret already told us what the book is about, there's really no point. I hope that's not going to be the case. But yeah, this book, like I said, is really such an interesting book. Chimamanda's writing style. She just carries you through. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not just one of those books that you'll be reading and you want to drop and take a break. You're just like eager to see what's going to happen in the next page, what's going to happen in the next chapter. You're just so eager to see, like, the progression of events. It's really such an amazing book. Another thing I really like about this book is Chimamanda's wordplay, the way she was playing with vocabularies. Me, I've written GRE 2 times. I've written GRE 2 times. If you know anything about GRE, if you've actually ever experienced it, you understand what I'm saying. Like, the vocabularies in this book. So, for me, it was just like such a throwback, seeing all these words that I had learned when I was writing the exam. I was like, wow, Chimamanda for a reason, Very nice. Okay, so this book is actually about 4 women living different lives, right? However, their lives are intertwined in some sort of way. There's Chiamaka, there is Zikora, there is Omelogo, and there is Kadiatu, right? Chiamaka is a Nepo baby. She's a Nepo baby. Omelogo is her cousin, Zikora is her friend, and Kadiatu is her housekeeper. Now, Chimamanda now actually broke down the lives, the history, the background of all these ladies one after the other. So for Chiamaka, right? I'm starting with Chiamaka because this book actually starts with Chiamaka's story. Chiamaka is vulnerable, right? She's often torn between vulnerability and self-preservation. She's also very layered and she's an ambitious woman as well. Chiamaka is a travel writer. I can't remember. I think there was something else that she was supposed to be. Maybe she was supposed to be like a medical doctor or an accountant or whatever. I can't even remember anyway. But she eventually became a travel writer. She followed her dreams, right? So she would travel to different countries and write about, those countries. And of course, she was a single woman, right? She had dated different kinds of men. She had dated Nigerian men. She had dated white men and everything. But, there was the one that she really loved, with everything in her, like, she was literally self-sabotaging just because she wanted to please the guy. She was going all out of her way, but the guy never really appreciated her. But like, women, why are we like this? And then there's this guy that came into the picture. I don't know, was his name Chika or Chuka? But this guy actually loved her pieces. according to how the author described the guy, he's good looking, he's handsome, everything, money check, good looking check, the guy is a Christian, like everything just works. But she was like, I don't know, she needed some sort of emotional connections that she couldn't find. Maybe the guy was too good to be true, yada yada yada. But she broke off that, she ended her relationship with the guy. This was someone that actually wanted to marry her, right? I like the fact that she was still true to herself, true to what she wanted. She didn't allow, the biological clock, or the fact that time was not on her side. She didn't allow that to be like the sole purpose of her getting into a marriage or getting married to somebody, right? She really wanted to feel that emotional connection. But if it's up to me, I'll be like, Chiamaka, what are you looking for? Girl, what you looking for? That's for Chiamaka. And Omelogo, which is Chiamaka's cousin. I don't know, I'm not Igbo. I don't know if I pronounced that name well anyway. But Omelogo is like, one of those girls that brain check, beauty check, like she just checks everything. She's very bold, right? She's unapologetic. She says things as they are, right? She doesn't kiss ass. Just, she's true to herself, and she doesn't take nonsense from anybody, literally. That's just like the kind of person that she is. Similar to Chiamaka as well, she didn't just settle, right? She had series of relationships. If anything, she's one that used to break hearts. She's like the breaker of hearts. She's the one that she's kind of girl that guys will fall in love with. She's the kind of girl that guys will be drooling over, and then she's kind of girl that gets bored quickly or easily, right? If she gets into a relationship with a guy in a couple of weeks or months, she's already bored. She's just like, I can't be bothered, like I'm bored, So, oftentimes reverse is the case. It's usually the lady that would like be the ones to quickly fall in love and stuff like that. But with Omelogo, right, she was like the one that guys were actually drooling over. Guys were catching feelings and all that, but she wasn't catching nothing, right? But yeah, she was like quite an interesting character. And then I feel like she was the voice of reasoning as well amongst those group of women. She was like the voice of reasoning. So yeah, she was quite an interesting one. She was doing very well in her career as well. Was she an accountant or a banker or whatnot? I can't remember, but I know she dabbled into some things that she was not supposed to do, like some illegal things like money laundering. She was rising really quickly on her own career ladder. She was rising really, really quickly, right? However, the proceeds from all those like her illegal businesses, illegal jobs that she was doing, the good thing about her is that she was now using them for she was using all of that money for charity, right? She would set up funds for women, to start businesses, women in her village and all that. So that was about Omelogo. Zikora is a bit more conservative, right? She's a little more conservative. To be honest, I didn't really connect so much with her story. Zikora is a lawyer, but part of her story that resonated with me the most, or that actually stuck in my brain, was the fact that, she got pregnant for someone who was supposed to be like her heartthrob. Like everything was perfect between her and this guy. This said guy, he's a Ghanaian. They had such a good relationship. Both of them had met each other, like their parents. They had done like the whole introduction, informal family introduction. Her family knows him, and his family, they know her as well. So they had like a very nice relationship. Like everything was good in the hood. And then the day she got pregnant and she told the guy just, it was like, nah, I'm not having it. The guy just zoned out. So, and that was really depressing for her. And then she had like a very, very strict mother. Her mother was extremely strict, right? However, her mom was there with her to help her raise her child, up until when that story finished. We never got to hear that her baby daddy came back to his senses to apologize. There was nothing like that. And then Kadiatu is Chiamaka's housekeeper, right? She grew up in Guinea Conakry. She had experienced poverty, female genital mutilation, all sorts of unspeakable things. She had like a very, very bitter childhood. Lost her dad, lost her sister. She wasn't living a pleasant life. So it's not a kind of life that anybody really wants to live, right? Just this very small country where women are marginalized, where patriarchy is the order of the day, where nobody really cares about you, where feminism is not even anything that exists in their own dictionary, right? However, there was like this guy that really liked her when they were still in the village, and fortunately for him was able to travel to America, and then he came back and took her to America with him. Those days when he actually used to tell Kadiatu when they were still young, he would always tell her that don't worry, I'll come back for you, and true to his words, he actually came back for her. You know, he really liked her, stuff like that. And then that was how she went to America. Funny how, as at the time that the guy came to pick her, she had a baby. She already had a child because she was already in another marriage. She had already gotten married to somebody else. The guy died, but he took her there. She went there with her child, started a new life. That was how she actually met Chiamaka and became, you know, that one's housekeeper, right? Of course, there's still like so much that happened. There was like a lot of progression in that story before we got to the part where she became Chiamaka's housekeeper. But fast forward to that, aside being Chiamaka's housekeeper, she was also working in like a hotel, right? She was abused, right? She was sexually abused. And she tried to sue the guy because it was like some big shots guy, maybe some minister of something, whether, I don't know, but it was just some hot shots, big shots guy, right? And she tried to sue him. All the evidences were there for them to actually convict and prosecute the abuser. However, you know, she didn't win that case. The case was dismissed and everything. And her lover, found himself in jail for selling marijuana, right? Cannabis. And I think that's interesting because I don't know how old this story is, but I know that cannabis or marijuana is something that is legally accepted. Like, do you understand? Like, it's legal. People smoke it for recreational purposes, So it's not like he was pushing like cocaine or hard drugs or whatnot, but for some reasons he got convicted for that. Her story was like just really, really sad. Her story was like really sad. I feel like I don't know if she actually had like any moment of happiness, right? She had like a very, very sad story. And according to the author, Kadiatu's story is like the only story that is based on true life events. Like, there's actually somebody that went through what she went through, right? It's based on a true life story. Her story is based on a true life story. That's all about it. But I think the saddest part of this story, as good as it was, is Chimamanda just left it unresolved. Like, all these women, we never got to see like the end, you know, like the happy ending where, oh, maybe Kadiatu and her lover, like, right, that guy that has always loved her right from when she was young. We never got to see a part where he was freed from prison and stuff like that, and the two of them became a couple. We never saw that maybe Chiamaka, you know, she fell in love, or she found somebody who now really loved her for who she was, or Omelogo, or we didn't even see the part that, oh, maybe Zikora, like, her baby daddy came back. Like, the stories were just left open-ended. Like, you know, she was like, I think she did that on purpose. She was like, just think about it, let your imagination do the rest for you, right? So I didn't like the fact that there was no happy ending for any of the women, because they all just ended in a way that I don't understand, right? I think maybe she said that for Kadiatu, like, it was a happy ending, because according to the story about Kadiatu, even Kadiatu was already tired. She was really tired about like the whole process of like the courts going to, I don't think she ever even made it to court anyway, but she was already tired of all the cross-examination that they were doing, you know, because like she had people coming, like policemen and all that, and then she had to be repeating the story. Like, imagine if you've gone through such a horrific experience and you have to be repeating that story time after time again, and then people are now even doubting you, oh, why did you come to America, why are you not in your country, stuff like that. So even as a person, she was already exhausted from the whole process, and she just wanted everything to just, you know, to just go so that she can continue her normal life with her daughter and everything. So when she actually heard that, oh, the case was being closed, right, that it will be making that her case is not going to be getting to the court or anything, like, she actually heaved a sigh of relief. She was happy, right, because she was like, in fact, I'm even done, because I can't imagine myself in a courtroom with strangers explaining to them how somebody tried to do some certain unspeakable and despicable things to me. So yeah, but I wish she got justice, you know. I can only wish away, but Chimamanda, I think that's what she wanted us to do, to just keep wishing. She didn't finish the story, but it was a very good book. So let me know if you've read Dream Count by Chimamanda Adichie. How did you find it? Did you enjoy it? If you've not read it but you're going to read it, let me know as well in the comment section. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.